awesome-looking Sony games, but we've been saving something extra special just for you. Sucker Punch's first PS3 game was loved by both critics and fans alike, especially if you're talking about IGN's Greg Miller. So, where do you go from there? Well, you make a sequel, of course. With us is game director Nate Fox with Imfamous 2.
Moment of silence, everyone. You are watching the segment of E3. Yes, it's Imfamous 2. I'm Greg Miller. This is Nate Fox. Nate, Imfamous 2, it's finally here. You're finally talking about it. I am excited.
I am happy to hear that.
What is happening in this game?
Well, you know what it is, right?
All right, Cole's back.
Hey, he's back, but
he's got superpowers.
He's in the first game. It was an origin story. It was a guy, an everyman, like ourselves,
like you and me,
who gets superpowers and has to choose whether or not he wants to be a hero or a villain. I'm sure you are a heroic guy.
I was totally heroic.
Well, now in Infamous 2, you're going to take us to the next level. You start off as a superhero. You're very strong, you're very powerful, and then you just go up from there. You become, wait for it, superhero.
The superhero. I like that quite a bit. Here we're getting to see the debut trailer, of course. And the one thing, obviously, the internet's always afire about. Cole looks a lot different.
Yes, absolutely.
What was the decision making behind that?
Well, when you work on a sequel, you want to improve on the game. You don't want to just kind of reproduce the same one. So you analyze everything. And we take a lot of creative chances and we move things around. And frankly, we're still doing it. Everything you see in this trailer is subject to change and improvement over time. So
you still got some
the
time.
lighting
You're shooting for next year,
things
correct?
will keep getting better and better.
Yeah, 2011 is the release on this? Okay. The one thing you noticed a lot in this trailer, though, Melee is going to be a big deal this time around.
Absolutely.
And Infamous 1 loved it. Not a lot of use of my fists. I was out there zapping people, but that's not how you want it to be this time.
No way. We like if you're a superhero, what's the number one thing you want to do? You want to knock somebody's block off.
Yeah, bad guys.
Right? So we're like, oh, well, Cole's an electrical superhero. We should give him like a big lead pipe, man. We're just going to electrify it and then knock guys, out cold. And then we thought, hey, why not give him two? And then he could be kind of like holding this big cattle prod to unleash it.
A tuning fork from hell.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, so is it just used to hit people, or is there other moves he can do with it?
Well, he has a lot of attack moves, but yeah, all of them are based around just getting really up and close and personal and delivering kind of the beatdown.
Okay. Now, so you talk about being the superhero. Cole was already pretty super at the end of the game. He was in charge of Empire City. What could happen that would make him feel, not like the most powerful man in the world?
Well, if you remember, at the end of Infamous, we kind of teased about this civilization-ending beast character.
The beast, yes.
That's right.
Yes.
And you meet him at the beginning of Infamous 2, and frankly, he's too much for you.
What?
So you go to a new city called New Marais, and which is where the race sphere, the device that gave you your powers, was made, and you get more and more strong, powerful abilities.
And now New Marais, that's what we're seeing here in the trailer.
Absolutely. It's kind of a collection of a bunch of really beautiful southern cities. But really, like, New Orleans is the biggie for me.
Oh, okay.
And my father grew up there, and he'd tell me stories about the swamps and the creepy buildings and people just going nuts on
perfect place for superhero to come in.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It is, I like to say, our New Marais is the best place in America to get stabbed.
Oh, that doesn't sound good at all. Well, I'm sure if everything's so bad there, they've got to be happy that Cole's coming to save them, right?
You'd think, but in fact, New Marais has been sort of overrun by this group called the Militia, who are these really, really mean-spirited human purists who believe anybody who's showing any kind of aberration should be lynched. And when Cole, the Electric Man, shows up in town, they want to put him to death.
Now, is electricity all Cole's going to have? Obviously, in the trailer we're watching right here, there's ice at the end of it. What's that all about? Electricity is not, that's not ice. Those don't go together. He couldn't even get wet in the last game without getting hurt.
What? Well, ice is a solid. Well, you can imagine, right?
Yeah.
Superpowers are the toys you play with in the game. It's the reason to show up. It's racing through the city, using climbing and electricity to feel like you're free, man, that you can fluidly, gracefully cruise anywhere you want to. It's beating guys down. And these powers, we want to grow them out. We want to give you even more to play with. Bigger, stronger, more diverse powers, because it's a superhero simulator. I mean, isn't that what we want? Isn't that what you and I want?
I want to be more powerful. Yes.
Yeah, so that's what we're giving you.
Here's the question that's bugged me forever. Me and Guides Guru, Kyle Moriarty, are on a podcast called Podcast Beyond every Thursday.
Beyond!
And what I want to know about Infamous #1, Cole couldn't get wet. Could he ever shower? Did he just smell really bad? Could he sponge bathe?
That's exactly what it is. It's a sponge bath.
Sponge bath is how he did it.
Yeah. You'll remember in the first game he was dating a nurse.
That didn't end all that well, but I won't ruin it if you haven't played Infamous 1 because you have to. Infamous 2 is coming up in 2011.
Yes, sir.
Nate, I can't wait to see more. Thank you so much for your time. You take care.
Good talking to you.
Positively electrifying, guys. I gotta tell you, I'm good with the jokes today. And we've been going strong all morning. I think it's time for a little lunch break. But don't worry, we'll resume again at 2:20 with the newest Guitar Hero. Also coming up is Hawks 2.